This is the part of the course that I've named the eating solution. And there's two main problems that I personally had when I was going through this aesthetic body journey in terms of like my diet and the other things I was eating. And they were, firstly, that I wasn't enjoying more of the healthy meals that were unprocessed and not high in sugar. And two, that I kept on cheating on my diet. These were the two main problems. So one, I didn't enjoy the taste of like healthy foods. Because, if you enjoy the taste of healthy food, then that's the best win-win solution. The issue was that I enjoyed the taste of unhealthy foods too much, and then two, I just kept on cheating on my diet, and perhaps the two are linked. I didn't like eating healthy food, and so I'd cheat on my diet and eat like junk food. They were the two biggest problems, and I'm very proud to say that I've solved the issue for both of them, and this is what we're going to learn about here. This is quite literally one of like the most valuable things that I have to teach, because fixing up your diet, not only is it going to drastically help you with your aesthetic body journey, but it's very interesting. You always kind of hear this thing of like, oh yeah, health is the priority, right? And oh yeah, we should be healthy. You kind of know this, but you don't really know what the benefits of being healthy actually are, because we're not really old right now, are we? So it's like, you, for example, being healthy compared to your dumbass friend who like takes drugs and he eats junk food and he eats Mountain Dew. If you and him do like a pull-up competition right now, he might be kind of close to you right now. So it's like, what is this bullshit, bro? Like, I've been eating fucking broccoli and chicken and rice. How's this guy like, do the same amount of pull-ups as me? Eating healthy has almost an instant benefit and then a more of a long-term benefit. And the long-term benefit, of course, is like you're healthier, you look younger, you function just better in general, and you live longer. Literally, like people who don't eat Western diets live longer. People who don't eat like fucking disgusting processed foods, McDonald's and junk food live longer. But, living longer seems, again, that's more of like an abstract concept, isn't it? You've always heard that. Living longer kind of means that you are agile and like you have the characteristics of a young person for longer. Does that make sense? So it's not like, living longer doesn't mean like, oh, you'll get to age 60 and you're old, but you'll like live till 100. It means that you'll feel young till you get older, which is like, maybe you're just a little bit like, too young to really understand how nice this is, bro. This should be one of our main goals. So the eating solution, like the long-term results, like the reward that we want, is that we feel young, energetic, lively, athletic for longer, like an older age. Because maybe you're not as old as I am. I'm 25 years old, but it started to become apparent now of the diets of people my age, where like the majority of guys my age, bro, they're getting pudgy. And I know for a fact the next few years is really going to differentiate myself and like, the guys who have been following the eating solution, or the guys who've just been eating whatever is just there. And, they're coping and saying like, oh, they're eating healthy. Like, oh, I don't like the taste. Or they're like these fitness influencers who, you see these the fitness influencers who just, they're not even healthy. Like, they literally don't even eat healthy foods. They show you that they're eating fucking Krispy Kreme donuts and cereal and stuff, and they don't realize, like, this is why fitness influencers get churned out very quickly. It's because they lose their physiques after a few years once they get like really viral, because they eat just fucking shit, and like they start looking old and everything. They start, like, if you follow a fitness influencer for like the past few years and you notice that his diet's really shit, usually like these guys are not even in your memory because they just dropped out of the game now, because they're literally just, like, they were kind of big at one point, gaining lots of subscribers, and now no one kind of remembers that particular person. Or the guys that you do really remember who have been in the game for a long time generally eat kind of clean and they still look healthy and athletic. So the eating solution aims to get us to that result of like feeling young and athletic and healthy long term. But short term, the benefit of eating healthy is that your brain just works better. And I'm a very big advocate of this. There's actually a study, I'll try and find it for you, but there's actually a study that these experimenters, like, they put Indonesian people, like essentially like almost tribesmen, like in some parts of the world there's still tribes. In this study, these experimenters put these tribesmen on a Western diet and their IQ literally went down. Like, their intelligence went down. So TLDR, in quite an abrupt way to say, is like Western unhealthy processed food makes you stupid. Literally, bro, this should fucking drop your jaw right now. People who usually didn't eat like normal Western fast food and started eating it lost IQ points, or lost some kind of way to measure, like whatever like experiment they did to measure how smart they were. They lost that. Anything that decreases your mental power, bro, that's that's horrible, bro, because how we make money in this day, how we like accumulate resources, how we like get successful, how we make good decisions is all based on like how intelligent we are. We can't sacrifice that for some fucking taste of like McDonald's or like the stuff people in this country eat, like chicken nuggets or some shit. It's just fucking embarrassing, man. So there is two main problems that I want to help you with, which is how to start enjoying healthy meals and how to stop cheating on your diet. Now, if you are not suffering from these problems at all, maybe you can skip this video if you want, or perhaps it might be wise for you to just follow it just in cases you ever do maybe end up slipping a little bit. A lot of people don't enjoy eating healthy meals, and it's very interesting why this is. The gut microbiome, I'm going to explain this to you in a very simple way. So we have almost like a second brain. So obviously we have our main brain, but we have a second brain inside of our body, and it's called the gut microbiome. It's kind of like this very intelligent part of our stomach that like food is somewhat processed in there, and whatever food we've ate changes the microbiome, like, you know, the bacteria inside of us. And essentially what this means is like you are what you eat. You know, fitness influencers 20 years ago used to really have the phrase, you are what you eat. And you don't really hear them say it anymore because a lot of these motherfuckers just eat Krispy Kreme donuts. But you literally are what you eat. When you eat something, it changes what your gut microbiome is like. And then however your gut microbiome is like, there's a very good connection from your gut microbiome to your brain. So essentially what you eat literally changes how your brain is because it changes something in your gut. And this controls your emotions, your intelligence, your decision making, your impulses, your patience, your discipline. Like it changes so much about you. Like, people don't realize how big this is. People really don't realize how big this is. So what we don't want to do is eat unhealthy food, high in sugar, high in processed shit, just like stripped of all nutrients, that then fucks up our gut microbiome, which then fucks up like the rest of our body. It fucks up our decision making, our health, everything, right? So we don't want to do that. The issue is, okay, well, yeah, of course, no one really wants to eat unhealthy. Would like to eat healthy, but it's kind of hard because it's not enjoyable, is it? What's very interesting is that your gut microbiome, studies show it's different, but like anywhere from like 20 to 60 days is what it takes for it to kind of reset. And so the idea is that if right now you're eating a lot of unhealthy food, a lot of junk food, a lot of snacks and stuff, and you want to switch over to healthy food, you kind of crave the food that is currently, like your gut is currently used to. I'll say that again. You generally crave and enjoy the food that your gut is currently used to. If suddenly, let's say we just forced healthy food down you, and it doesn't taste nice, whatever, we just force you, we force you, you can't eat any unhealthy food, any junk food, you're just eating healthy shit, salads, chicken, you know, like eggs, whatever, like, you know, stuff that isn't just fucking like vegetables, but it's still like very good food, it's not unhealthy. If we only give you that kind of food, for the first couple of weeks, you won't enjoy the taste of it. You won't get much pleasure out of it because your gut microbiome has still got like the bacteria that came from unhealthy food. But slowly, the bacteria starts to change and change and change. And eventually, you will literally get cravings and enjoy the taste more and get more pleasure from the healthy food. What we need to do is replace the bacteria that is in our gut right now with healthy food, which essentially means, which is kind of hard to do, but it really just means, really simply, we need to like just grit our teeth and not enjoy eating for like 2 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. For 2 to 3 weeks, like we're not going to enjoy like healthy meals, but if we just mostly have healthy stuff, soon we start to crave it more. Because what you must understand, what a lot of like overweight people, what a lot of unhealthy people, what a lot of like, you know, young guys who don't really look fat, but they don't eat healthy food, what they don't realize is that eating healthy food is not always going to stay like unpleasurable. You must understand this. You have the capacity to fully enjoy and crave and to get pleasure from healthy meals. And it just takes around 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks of your body to kind of change over for that to happen. However you feel right now in terms of eating something healthier, it will not stay like that forever. This is almost like a paradigm shift that you need. You must understand that you will not always, like, if you switch over to healthy eating for the rest of your life, you're not always going to feel how you do about healthy eating right now. Does that make sense? Like, for example, before you started working out, let's say before you ever started going to the gym or anything, it was quite a daunting, quite like a weird gray zone experience. It was all, and you know, the first few workouts that you hit are quite like, oh, you don't really know what you're doing. You're kind of overwhelmed or confused and it's kind of painful and stuff. It didn't stay like that, did it? eventually, once you've done something for so long, you start to find more pleasure in it. You get used to it. You get good at it. You must understand that transitioning to start to like enjoy healthy meals, it takes a little bit of time, but then after that, it's like you start to actually enjoy it. So we just need to grit our teeth for like 2 to 3 weeks and just keep eating the healthier thing that we're supposed to eat instead of the ultra processed fucking chicken nuggets, the cheap shitty pizza that you can get from the store that you just throw into the oven. And it takes a little while, but then you start to enjoy this food so much more. I wrote here that we can progressively overload this. So the best case scenario, which is perhaps a lot harder to do, is we just instantly just switch over full healthy meals and, just go with that. But of course, like you'll kind of fall off that. The better way to do this, in my opinion, is keep your meals exactly how they are, but switch one over to something healthier. So for example, you're eating, let's say 3 meals a day, and they're all 3, which is quite like processed, and they're just, that they're not like healthy, like natural ingredients. Choose one meal to switch over to something which is a lot healthier, like one of the meals that I've linked in the meal section of this course, or you choose one as well. A meal that has got meat, vegetables, some oil, some seasoning. That's extremely healthy. That's like one of the best meals that you can quite like reasonably make. We need to progressively overload this. Does that make sense? We can't just expect ourselves to switch over immediately, because maybe we can do that and maybe it's worth just trying to see if you're the kind of guy who can just go extreme, because that's what I did. But for most guys, it's a lot more reasonable for us to tell them, okay, just switch over like one meal per day, just eat a little bit healthier, and then just start to roll it out like that. Also, cue the rewards in your mind. So this is a very interesting like psychological hack that you can use to make it easier to enjoy healthy meals. There's been studies that have showed that you will literally get more of the benefits or more of the consequences of food if you just cue in the relevant results into your mind. So essentially what this study found, which was incredibly interesting, and I think I've mentioned this before actually, participants are given 2 kinds of milkshakes. One of the milkshakes is loaded with sugar and high fat and everything, and it's got like a lot of calories. And the other milkshake is a protein one. It's lean and it's low calories. The participant has, whatever one, and then everything's tracked inside of their body to show, okay, let's see what's going to happen once they drink it, right? So they drink the unhealthy shake, and the relevant things happen inside of their body that, they've got unhealthy metrics now. Their insulin spiked up, their blood sugar level, like all the sciencey shit, like these researchers were investigating with this. So it happened as expected. They have the protein shake, their muscle protein synthesis goes up. They don't really gain too much fat from this because it's lower calories. Essentially, they have both shakes, and exactly what we expected to happen happens. This one, they gained more weight, they gained more fat, their insulin spiked up. This one, they gained less weight, their muscle protein synthesis spiked up, right? They were both the same shakes. They were both the same. The only thing that was different was just that the psychologist who was doing this experiment told the participants that they were different, but they weren't actually different. Your jaw should drop. This is one of the most groundbreaking studies I've ever read in my life. Just by cueing, and like literally the placebo effect is so fucking strong that you can literally just tell someone, or you can do this yourself, you can just make yourself believe that something is unhealthy or something is healthy, and your body will react as if that is literally the objective truth of the world. So when you are eating something healthy, cue that into your mind. You're gonna have like one healthy meal today, like a little bit healthier. Say the words in your mind, this is healthy, this is gonna make me healthier. Perhaps if you are going to have something unhealthy, maybe a way that we can negate some of the consequences is to not tell ourselves it at all. Maybe delude ourselves. This is potentially, it could work. We're going to have something unhealthy. We're definitely going to have something unhealthy. We could just tell ourselves like, oh yeah, this is really healthy. Oh, it's got lots of protein. Like even if it doesn't, it's a slice of cake or some shit. Just maybe that could work. But the thing we know absolutely does work is that if we're going to go eat something healthy, if we remind ourselves of the benefits, we will get more of those benefits. Absolutely insane study. How to stop cheating on your diet. So this was a huge one for me. Hang on, my camera's about to die. I used to cheat on my diet like a lot because of, mental health problems, because I didn't really enjoy like the healthier things. I was very much a binge eater for a large part of this journey. So I'd have a diet to eat, a certain number of calories, and every literally 2 days, 3 days, I just delude myself into thinking that, it's a cheat day, I'm just going to eat as much as possible. And I'd literally just stuff my face with junk food, with just unhealthy food, fast food, desserts, sugar, everything. And then eventually when I started smoking weed, so I started smoking weed when I was like 20 years old, and I smoked every single day for about 2 years. This was even worse, bro. I was eating 4 or 5k calories just every single day, just gaining so much weight, and I just could not stick to a diet, and I didn't realize why. And there's a 2-step process to overcome this. So if you find yourself just cheating on your diet all the time, there's a 2-step process. Number 1, get more knowledge and actually looking at research. Like, you've seen me quote so much research that I just kind of remember quoting, like learning this stuff just kind of, I don't know how to explain it to you, but it just changes the way you behave. Like, your behaviors, your actions are all kind of down to your beliefs. And so if you learn more and you change your beliefs, then generally you'll change your actions too. So there is a documentary, which is really interesting. That's pretty much like a movie that I recommend you to watch. It's called Carb Loaded. I'll find it and I'll put like a link below in this video. Go and watch it. It's called Carb Loaded. You can find it on YouTube as well. And it's like a 1-hour like documentary. It's just interesting, kind of fun to watch. But it kind of talks about the issue of like sugar and unhealthy food and how it fucks up your health. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting to watch. I'll just go and watch it. And then there's another one called Fat Chance Fructose 2.0. That is more of a lecture by a nutritionist. It's not as fun, but it's very interesting. If you watch just those 2 things, it'll take 3 hours to watch both of them. I promise you that you will know more about nutrition than quite literally 99.9% of the entire fucking planet. Once you have this knowledge, which is going to take you 3 hours you could probably watch both of them today. Once you have this knowledge, you will be so much more equipped to actually take the right action when, like, the next time that you're about to eat something that's unhealthy. All of that knowledge and that research will kind of like bring up into your mind, and you'll kind of know that that's actually a bad thing, because right now it's a bad thing to eat some like random ass junk. But when you have real scientific knowledge, the real like evidence that you've seen these studies, you've seen all this lecture, you've seen this, then it's so much easier to not choose that bad food. The second thing you can do to stop cheating on your diet is to meditate. I found that meditation drastically increases how much you're able to eat like the right food, because meditation really improves your ability to make decisions. What you're going to learn if you go through your own self-improvement journey and you start meditating more and more, the more you meditate, it seems like you get a longer time to consciously think of a decision before you make it. So a lot of people, perhaps yourself, a lot of people kind of do things, do actions, talk without really thinking about them. They're not conscious. They're not consciously thinking about a decision. And so they struggle through life. And I used to be exactly like this. Like, I'd be eating the thing without really consciously evaluating myself do it. It almost feels like there's a bigger gap now that I can choose what I want to do. And like, when you have this gap, you're kind of reminded of your goals and the research that you've done. So those are the 2 things you can do to stop cheating on your diet. 1, go and watch those videos that I'll link below. And 2, start meditating every day. I've got a 10-minute meditation, like follow along, that you can like watch on YouTube, and you can follow along to it every single morning, every single night. And I'll link that below as well.